lightly, but it's definitely coming down. Oh, happy Wednesday to you too. Oh my god. Well, I hope you feel better soon, Easy Door. Um, a close friend of mine is also pretty sick right now, and when I saw that she got sick, I started thinking about myself and how long it's been since I've actually been sick. I haven't been sick in a really long time. I don't want to jinx it, if such a thing actually exists, but I hope you get better soon, Isidora. I'm playing a show tonight, Tom. I have a show in Los Angeles, so I have to prepare for that. But that's pretty much going to consume my entire day. Lots of prep, and then getting there, and then sound checking and all that. Usually, when I have a show, I try not to do anything else that day. I hope I can play in the UK one day too. Thanks, Tom. And don't forget to like the video, guys, or the stream. I feel like a clown reminding people to do that, but I have to, I think. my Line Babe remix. Oh, is that? Hmm. Ooh, I liked Parasite a lot. You know what's funny about Parasite? I'm not going to talk about the movie really at all, but I had seen the movie Okja forever ago, and when I went to go see Parasite, I didn't realize it was the same director that made both of them. And then last night, I was thinking about him, and I rented the movie Mother, the Korean film Mother, and I watched that too because of him. Um, yeah, yeah, I watched it because of it. I watched something else that he made too. I watched something else he made recently because I saw one of the actors, he uses that. Oh, the one with the train, Snowpiercer. I saw Snowpiercer. This is how it went. I watched Snowpiercer and I saw the same guy, the same Korean actor, and I was like, oh, he's in Parasite. And then I realized the director was the same. I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's the same director. So then I was like, what else has he made? And he made something called The Host. He made Parasite. He made Okja, and he made Mother. And I was like, I've seen all those other movies, but I haven't seen Mother yet. So I watched Mother last night, and it was good. I mean, I'm not somebody that watches a lot of art house films actually. So I don't think that's something that I'm going to be getting into, but it was nice to explore that genre and look at the things that he does as a director pretty often. Hmm. Should make a suit out of those ties, says somebody, but then what would I wear with the suit if I have no ties left? Everybody tells me not to watch Okja because it's too sad. Is it? Says Isidore. Isidore, you've talked to me about several movies that I would call sad, and you say they're good. So I don't think Isidore, aren't you the one that saw Hereditary? I don't think that Okja is very sad for your standards. I feel like you're an adult and you've seen a lot of very disturbing and upsetting movies. So is it sad? It can be, but I mean, shouldn't all movies have a some type of emotional impact? I'm not saying a movie because it's too sad is silly. Do you ever get high and play? I don't get high at all, Bear. I don't smoke or anything like that. Well, I haven't gotten that question in a long time. I used to get that question a lot on Instagram. When it's cruel with animals, I can't stand it. When it is with humans, you don't care. There's a lot of people like that. I'm not sure I understand that. I understand that mentality, but fact is, all movies, let me stress, modern movies, when there's cruelty against people in a movie, I guess it doesn't bother me because I realize I'm watching a movie. For example, there's just that comes to mind, there's a pretty long, unbroken scene of abuse in the movie It, Chapter 2, that I guess could be hard to watch if you're really empathetic. But I think the reason that it's not so hard to watch for me is because I'm very aware that I'm watching actors portray a scene. And so there is no real violence happening. It's just the idea or implication of violence. And same thing for animals, you know. I realize there are laws that protect animals in the making of films. For the most part. We had our weird touch and go thing with the whole A Dog's Purpose movie, but yeah, if there's like a fake animal or a CG animal that's being mistreated, I mean, especially if it's CG, that doesn't even. Point is, Isidore, it's a movie. It's a movie in the end of it. And so, maybe knowledge of that. It's a movie, it's not a documentary, so nothing's actually being hurt. That just turned into vanilla for some reason. Sometimes I can get it through without messing up once. I wish I had that level of consistency with it every time I played it. Jesus Christ. You should collaborate with FKJ, says Bear. I don't know them. Their music is good, but yeah, I don't know them, so that probably won't be happening anytime soon. But I assume you like them, so thank you for that. That's a high compliment. It's a high compliment. I personally feel like me and FKJ's music is too. Our music sensibilities are too similar for us to work together and make anything interesting. That's something that's always. There is like this idea in acting that whenever you see two actors that look kind of similar, you're like, oh, they should be in a movie together. Kind of how everybody wanted. Everybody used to get Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock mixed up, so they were like, let's just put them in a movie together. Wouldn't that be great? And I did not cut my hair. It's just my head's out of frame, so I'm sorry. it's a horizontal. It's a horizontal thing. But if I did this, nobody could see the keyboard. And I was like, which is more important, my face or the keyboard? But no, it's not any shorter. My head was just out of frame. My head was literally being cut, not my hair. What was I saying? Oh yeah, everybody was like, Sandra Bullock and Julia Roberts should be in a movie together. And it didn't happen, and everybody rumored that it was going to be happening because people just wanted it really bad. And then I started thinking about it after a while, and I was like, we almost don't need Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock to be in the same movie together. I'm not saying they're the same person, but I'm saying the things that they offer to a movie are similar, and we, as a society, all recognize that because that's why we wanted them together in the first place. And if they're giving the same things, it's almost like how like in math, like a positive and a negative will just kind of like equal but opposite things, kind of cancel each other out. I feel like if I work with somebody, like people used to really want me to work with Ujiko. If you're not familiar with Ujiko or Snail's House, they're a Japanese artist who makes music very similar to what I used to make. Maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And I was like, everybody wants us to work together, so should we work together? And then when I was in Japan, we actually talked about it. And it was like, no, it would be redundant for us to work together. Usually, if you look at the artists that I work with, people like me, Gladstone, or Abby Press, or Eddie Robo, or Academy Garden, Tribes, Colada, Fuji. A lot of these artists don't sound anything like me, and so working with them is always very fun because they fill in the spaces that maybe you're not so good at or that you won't exist, and then you can fill in the spaces in the song that they won't exist. For example, when I work with Mia Gladstone has a vocal range that I do not have. And so she takes lead of the vocals. Same thing with Ehi. Ehi has his vocal stylings, which is one of his strengths and one of my weaknesses. So he fills in the vocal section, whereas I fill in the arrangement section of a song. For somebody like Ujiko, Snail's House, or FKJ, or Bowen, or what's another one people K Tronada. There's a lot of artists that go for the same exact things that I go for in music, which is like, okay, a very simple driving beat, and most of the song's guts are in the chords and the chord production and the chord progressions and the chord arrangements. And so if you have two artists who are very, very focused on a driving beat and chord progressions, it's very hard to collaborate. You almost cancel each other out because every time somebody reaches for one thing, the other person's like, oh, what am I doing here? You're just building my own song in front of me. And so I think when you're listening to, or I don't even limit it to music, when you're observing an artist, one thing we often observe, we look for patterns, we look for familiarity when we're looking at art. And so if you notice a pattern, you naturally want to put them together, almost like a game of like Bejeweled. Oh, I'm so sorry I brought up Bejeweled in a 2019 YouTube stream. But you want to put things that are similar together. And sometimes, if you do put them together when they're similar, they cancel each other out, like Tetris or Bejeweled. I'm sorry, I'm going to stick on Bejeweled for a minute now. But yeah, when those similar things are put together, they cancel each other out. You get rid of them because they're no longer unique. They can't exist in like this. Wow, Bejeweled is actually a really good allegory for art. The game was trash. The game was awful, but maybe I found something nice about it now. Ooh, better analogy, Bear. Or they make diamonds. If you get enough of them together, but you can't just have two. And me and FKJ are just two people. Isidore, if we're sticking to the Bejeweled analogy. Are you going to watch Lewis Cole Noah show in LA? I have some stuff that I have to do Isidore this Saturday, which is when the show is. I have a studio date, and then I have a housewarming party I'm supposed to go to. And then I also have 3 commissions due. So if I have time outside of those things, then I would love to go to the Lewis Cole show. But as it's looking right now, I might have to pass. Because I'm a busy boy. Remember that one? Remember Rose Milk? Hello from Russia. Hello from California, says me. I'm going back to the piano view because piano beats face. Good morning. No, no, Rose Milk. That's why before I played, I said, "Remember Rose Milk?" That's a song that I released about 3 years ago called Rose Milk. It is released. It's out. I can see why I'm messing that up. Whoa! Sometimes you mess up, but it sounds good, and you can't do it on purpose. Yeah, screw it. I'm not gonna try to do it on purpose. Um, can you what? You said can you, but I don't know what the other part of that request was. Oh, can I like come up with stuff on the spot? That's called improving, and yeah, I can improv. That's exactly what most of these songs came from. I know you haven't been in the streams for very long, but this is the 31st YouTube stream. Before this YouTube stream, I did hundreds and hundreds of Instagram streams, and in the Instagram streams, a lot of these songs that you're hearing were birthed, and they were birthed out of improv. Me just like messing around and playing random chords. To my laptop and I'm confused how to get the type of USB sends through different information. What? If you just go to any like guitar, just buy a USB cable from Guitar Center, because they only sell those kind. Oh yeah, it was in the chorus. Like the video, because if you don't like the video, YouTube terminates my account and takes away my home. They come and repo my apartment. What's the next step if you find something during improv? Fleshing it out? Based off views. I was joking, Bear. I was joking. Told me a week ago that but it was through messages, which doesn't count. They were like, you need to be more clear when you're joking, because your serious voice and your joking voice are exactly the same. Maybe they have a point. That song's called Over and Under. Um, um, yeah, fair, Bear. That's fair. And you're newer to the stream, so I shouldn't expect you to understand my sense of humor. It's not worked out well because I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Deadpan jokes. I used to make jokes while I perform. I stopped doing that. I guess one could call this a performance, but I wouldn't. Like for my show tonight, there will be no jokes at that show. I probably won't even talk to the crowd. I very rarely talk to the crowd at shows. Usually at the very end of no, I don't even. Maybe at the very end of my set, I'll say thank you. That's pretty much it. If they give me a mic, I'll say thank you. Outside of my vocoder mic, I've never said thank you into the vocoder. That could be considered a joke. Being on stage is slightly different. Slightly. Do you subconsciously know what to do when in improv? I wouldn't say I subconsciously know what to do. I say I consciously know what to do. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, you haven't been here a very long time, Isidore, and I thank you for that. So you plan ahead and know what you want to play, or is it a feeling? Both, Bear? You will feel something and then you will go there. It's almost like speaking. You usually speak what you feel. You come up with the words in your head, and then you do them out of like repetition. One learns how to talk from talking a lot. A piano is just like talking. It's like skateboarding. It's like walking or writing, typing, texting. All these things are the same. First time you do something, it's probably very difficult, and you have to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing. Patterns, speaking, and writing, and dancing. Have you ever salsa danced, Bear? Are you a salsa dancer? Do you know what a rock step is, by any chance? Which doesn't only happen in salsa dancing. If you're a swing dancer, you also know what a rock step is. Does anything I'm saying make any sense, Bear? Oof, I like that chord a lot. I just don't know how to use it. Oh crap, I actually missed a lot of things. Sorry guys, it wasn't updating the comments. Um, I hope your morning is going. Oh, it's Izzy. Hi Izzy. Hope you're doing well. Okay, when you are playing while connected to your laptop, are you sending MIDI data and not the actual audio? Yes. Data travels through MIDI. Sound travels through quarter-inch cable, instrument cable. You've seen what they look like. A guitar cable. A lot of people call it a guitar cable. That carries sound. MIDI cables do not carry sound. They only carry information. Um, you have not. You have not been to one of the morning streams in a while, Izzy, indeed. I hope you're doing okay. God, I hope it stops raining before my show. I don't really feel like being out there in it. What are your favorite scales to play in? Asks Good One Rice, I think. God, I hope I didn't say that wrong. I'm just gonna call you Good if that's okay. Good. I don't know music theory, so I don't know the names of any scales. Are they just the same? Are they just the same as the notes? A, B, C, D. Are those all scales? I've got a shoot off. It's 4 a.m. Oh, thanks, Bear. I'm sorry we didn't get to the bottom of your question. I never learned if you salsa danced or not. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. What's left of it? Goodness. Well, good luck with that, Izzy. After the Sonic tunes. I just don't see the point in sending the audio rather than MIDI data, so I was confused. What? You don't see the point of sending audio rather than... Because that's how you record sound. Because that's how you record sound, Lindsay. That's how I record all of Signals was... I recorded the sound, I didn't record the data. certain things happen. God, do I really want to get into this? Certain things. There's pros and cons to both. Lindsay, you understand this. Yeah, I really do hope that this rain doesn't end before my show. I have not owned an umbrella in 6 years? 6 years? Maybe 7? I haven't owned an umbrella. Yeah, and I kind of refuse to buy one because it just doesn't rain enough in LA for me to justify the purchase, but when it does rain, I sure do wish I had one, right? I just don't really want one hanging around the house. Word up, Lindsay. Word up. How do I not have a song named after the rain? That's such low-hanging fruit for me, and usually I try to gobble up all the low-hanging fruit before I climb the tree and get to the real good stuff, you know? But I don't know that I have a song named after rain, or even referencing rain, or a storm, or anything. Huh. Anyways, here's a... Here's Union Station. No problem, Lindsay. I love the Carpenter song. It impresses me too. Rainy Days. Oh, you're singing a Carpenter song. It's so weird to see a bird fly in the rain. Are they okay? Is it all fine for them? Sorry. make that the intro to a song so bad. It has that like signals, like for a lot of the signal songs. I don't know how obvious or apparent it was, but I made like I don't know the musical term for it, but my term is preamble. I gave like a lot of the songs preamble, like an extended kind of disjointed intro that was a lot of like fancy, jazzy vibes into a song. I mean, Winter Heart had which never really shows up again in the song until the very end. 78 to Downtown has which again never shows up until the end as well. Um, Love Letters has like that never shows up until the very end as well. I would try to give them this jazzy open and close, kind of like book ends, where the stuff in the middle was an actual song, with melody and chord progressions, chord structure. But the intro and outro was just this really fun display, I guess. And I don't need to play all the Signal songs, but all the Signal songs do have that, with the one exception of Spring Street, which just starts immediately. And then when I started making the new Signal songs, I started doing a lot of those preamble things without the actual song. Like, so this song. I don't actually know where to go from there because I just started with the book cover. I don't have the actual story yet, but I know that after I'm finished with the story, I am going to come back to. I know I'm going to end the song with that. I just have to come up with the guts in the middle. And the one that I just played before I started this whole explanation, the wow, I forgot it that fast. And it ends with, oh, this one. That's really up to where I have it. I started adding stuff in the middle because I'm kind of trying to run concepts for what will be after that part. But right now it is just that. Yeah, I just don't know where to go from there. But that's a little secret on how Signal songs are developed. When listening to jazz music, there is this thing that happens in a lot of jazz music. Easy Dora, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because you're very familiar with jazz. But a lot of jazz songs tend to be, and this is true with a lot of different subgenres of jazz. You'll have this in like, I mean, you'll even have this in like salsa music. You'll have this in like big band jazz. You'll have this in bebop for sure. This ensemble where you establish the song. Everybody plays like the melody together in the beginning. And then the song starts. And then when the song starts, everybody kind of plays it together to give the listener, okay, this is the picture we've painted. And then one by one, every musician is allowed to kind of solo over it. So everybody else plays the song while the guitar player does his thing. Then the guitar player hands it off and sits back into a resting chord progression while the flautist does their thing, or the piano player does their thing. The upright bass person does their thing. The drummer does their thing. Everybody kind of has their own section in the song. So it allows the songs to be upwards of 7 minutes long a lot of the time. But I'm saying that to say I'm a solo musician, right? I'm not playing with a big jazz ensemble, so there isn't that. I can't have, and then the xylophonists will do their thing. I can't do that in a song. So instead, what I do is I have um, a weird solo-esque weird beginning part, and then I have a grand finish, and everything that's in the middle is kind of the unabated, uninterrupted song, the song itself. When you listen to Love Letters and it has the those, that's kind of like the verses, and then the chorus would be the and for a second, in the end of the chorus, I do have a little bit of a freedom part with the piano where it's like, which is it's a different solo than the recorded version. I have a live solo and a recorded solo. Point I'm trying to make is this is the structure that I use for all of Signal's songs because I don't have an ensemble. So I try to tell myself how can I establish the song, but then also have fun with the arrangement. So the fun in the arrangement has to happen in the very beginning and the very end. Songs, if you listen to like a lot of my older and sometimes not so old songs. Like I do this on Daydream a couple of times where I will establish the song first, and then I will while out in the middle, and then I will return to the song idea in the very end. It's a very similar structure. I'm sorry if I'm boring any of you guys in here with this talk. I really do apologize. Nobody asked for this, but if you take a song like Bon Bon, I don't know how familiar anybody in this stream is with Bon Bon, but Bon Bon has a very simple chord progression. And just kind of keeps looping that, and then the melody is very simple. Keeps repeating that. So the melody is also pretty simple. So you establish a very simple melody and a chord progression. And then in the very middle of that song, for those of you that are familiar with the song, it completely breaks away from that and does some weird stuff. Same thing with Sugar Glider, who Izzy, that Izzy mentioned. A lot of the Nice Dream, Daydream, Speed Dream, Love Dream songs do this. I establish a very simple pop structure, and then I deconstruct it in the middle, lose everybody. It's not danceable. It's fun, but it's not very danceable. I'll put it that way. That's the easiest way to describe it. And then I return to the pop structure to kind of remind everybody this is the song. That middle bit was just me whiling out and having fun. The only difference between that structure, the Nice Dream, Love Dream, Speed Dream, Daydream structure, is that in Signals I flipped it so that the weird fun bit that's kind of weird and not danceable happens on the ends, and the pop dancey bit is in the middle. And maybe there's some pros and cons to this. The pro and con about the Nice Dream structure, where you establish a very simple danceable chord progression, and then you get to the middle and you start doing like really weird stuff that's not danceable, is that people will start to like the song, and then in the middle of the song you will lose a lot of people. I mean, you'll lose people that are listening at home. You're definitely going to lose people that are on the dance floor, where they'll go like, oh, what the heck is happening? The song got weird all of a sudden. It's no longer catchy. I'm not having a good time. And you have to be careful, because there are a lot of people that if a song goes to a place like that, they will skip the track. So you have to keep that thing brief. You have to kind of keep that part of the song short and concise, so as to challenge and test the listener, but not completely betray the listener, if that makes sense. So the pro of it is you do get to flex your muscles a little bit and let people know, hey, these are the things I can do. You do get to have a lot of fun and know in yourself that you didn't make some very, very simple song. You're like, oh, I did something that was a little bit challenging there. But the con is that you will occasionally lose people who have now liked the song for the first half and then get to the middle and realize this maybe isn't for them. The pro and the con of the Signals way, where you start off with all the nonsense and then you gradually get to the heart of the song. That's very catchy and hummable, singable. The pros and cons with that is the pro is that you show people very upfront, hey, this is what the song is. The song is weird. If you're cool with this, I have some simpler stuff coming soon, so just sit through this. Sit through this weird bit. If you can sit through this. If you can sit through that, then the good stuff is coming. So that's the pro of it. You get to be kind of more honest with the listener. Like, this is maybe a little offbeat song, so they don't feel betrayed or lied to when they get to the middle of it. But the con of that is a lot of people won't give the song a chance at all. They'll think that the entire song is that. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like bebop jazz. So they will immediately skip the song or they will turn the song off. Or they'll be like, well, nice try, Omni, but I prefer the hip hop remixes, thank you. And then they'll leave the song alone. And maybe if I had simply started the Winter Heart song by going, people would be like, oh, this is chill. This is nice, really relaxing song. But starting with the chaos means that you're going to lose people right up front who maybe would be interested in the middle part. Two different things, right? My something I also toyed with. If you listen to my songs, "Follow Me," bum, 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 if you listen to that song, if you listen to "Not on My Watch," if you listen to freaking one slash million. Listen to any of those songs. What I did with those songs is I established a very good pop rhythm up front. It's going to be 4 on the floor. It's going to be very easy to dance to. It's going to be somewhere between 110 and 125 BPM, beats per minute. I established that, and then halfway through, I basically chop the song into two parts, and I carry the vocalist into the second half. So the only thing that remains the same into the second half is the vocalist. Ahi, Mia Gladstone, Abby Press sang on both halves, but the second half is a little bit weirder. Not too weird, not extremely challenging. Maybe I just go into a halftime rhythm. Maybe I make it more trappy. Maybe I make it more indie. Maybe I make it more electronic, but it does change into the second half. And the pros and cons with that are exactly the way they were with the first one. Maybe there is somebody that really will like that second half, but they have to listen through a whole 2 minutes of song to get there, which is, challenging for a lot of listeners. Or there might be some people that like the first half and they hate the second half, so they'll simply skip the track as soon as the first half is done. But, I mean, at least I got to listen, right? Anyways, we're going to wrap up this stream because I only have 1 minute left. And Lindsay has to leave anyway. Goodbye, Lindsay, and thank you for being in the stream. For everybody else, we're going to go over a really quick round of news. I have some merch coming out late winter, so next year. I'll keep updating you guys as that develops. As far as shows, I am playing a show tonight. I'm playing a show in 10 hours. I'm playing a show. So for those of you that are in Los Angeles, I'll see you tonight. And for those of you that are not, I apologize, but I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., hopefully. Because if I'm at the show really late and all that stuff happens, I might have to cancel tomorrow's stream or delay it at the very best. Also, the streams happen here every morning at 9 a.m. Thank you, everybody, for making and spending some time with me. I'll keep you guys updated via Instagram on the fate of tomorrow morning's stream. And as always, I have released 2 new albums this year. They are called Ego Death and Quick Breath. I worked really hard on them. Quick Breath is more of an upbeat collection of work, while Ego Death is ambient, and you can find them on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play Music, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Groove, Deezer, Pandora, and YouTube. I use Spotify because it's connected to my PS4, and that's really the only time I listen to music anymore. And so you can find it there. Again, thank you, everybody, for being respectful to me and polite to each other. And hopefully I'll see you in Morning Medley number 32, which is the next one. I'm going to go ahead and play Hush Hour really quickly to end the stream, which has now become my custom for ending the stream. No, it's not only for theater, Isidore. You can say break a leg to anybody who's really going to perform it anyway. Abo.